Headline on Infowars.com. You can feel the energy worldwide crackling in the atmosphere as we surge and accelerate deep into the 21st century and the singularity and all the good, the bad, and the ugly that will come with it. The old Chinese proverb, may you live in interesting times, both a positive and a negative. Expect confrontation and violence in Ferguson this weekend. Kurt Nimmo, top story, Infowars.com. More police shot at, more police shot, more citizens shot as it escalates out of control. Video, it's now happening in St. Louis. Homes are now being attacked, open racial warfare unfolding. Video, man pulled off U.S. Airways flight after joking he had Ebola. U.S. officials, Ebola could spread through open southern border. We had the text on this on Wednesday. We now have the video of the head of Southcom saying it. That's coming up. U.S. has more sanctions against Russia than against Ebola. Paul Craig Roberts' article. That is just some of the stories up on Infowars.com. But first, I want to play the CNN clip that I mentioned earlier with Turkey's envoy in the fight against ISIS that they literally armed and trained, gave air support, artillery support to, but they don't totally run it. So it's kind of running off on its own into Iraq, coming back in, attacking the Kurds. So the Kurds are rioting and attacking inside Turkey. The Turkish newspapers say what I'm saying because they live there, they know that Turkey runs ISIS. It's really Al-Qaeda. They're killing them. They better stop or they're going to burn down Turkey as their response, protesting, which I think is very legitimate to be angry. And so our media is like, yeah, Turkey, get in there, do something. So Turkey says, okay, we do want to take out ISIS and take down the regime. That means the government that's fighting ISIS. But they want a mandate for everyone to tell them to do it and beg them to do it. And, oh, look, Turkey's not conquering Syria, what they've done before. No, Turkey is just coming in to fight Al-Qaeda, who they trained. I mean, this is total problem, reaction, solution. This is naked in front of everybody. By the way, Turkey is more brutal. I've studied it, but no one says it because they're part of NATO and the whole fraud, former seat of the Ottoman Empire. You talk about brutal. Turkey sits there out of Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, the head of the Byzantine Empire, sacked, taken over. But that's another issue. Talking about Assad being brutal when democratization is what they used under Assad to infiltrate with the Al-Qaeda forces. But that's political illiteracy for you. They know the people of the world are politically illiterate. That's why George Bush would say that Iran was behind Al-Qaeda, and Mohammed Karzai would say, sir, that's not true, you know, because in the Middle East, everybody just knew that was ridiculous. That's like saying that the San Francisco 49ers are the New England Patriots. I mean, to football fans, it's just total bull. Doesn't matter what team you're on, you know the teams. The Houston Texans are not the Minnesota Vikings. Now, you can call it a conspiracy theory if you want that I know what something is, but when you know the players and you know and it's so fun to know the borders and the players and the backgrounds, it's so addicting to learn this stuff. And the more you learn and get into it, the more you want to learn. That's how I can have former top CIA analysts on. I'm not bragging, and have open, full discussions with them, and they teach me stuff. I teach them things, and they're all so impressed because they go have briefings with generals that don't know this stuff because the general just wants to go see their mistress and go play golf and get along because they're not a real general. A real general would be studying this stuff constantly because it's so addicting. So I'm not saying I'm that smart. I'm saying anybody could learn this if you wanted to get into it. See, I don't know baseball scores of Babe Ruth. I don't know Mickey Mantle scores. I think he was married to Marilyn Monroe. I do know that. Or was it Joe DiMaggio? I forget. Things like that are interesting. But I don't know about, how many, what they batted a certain year. I don't know, about the steroid investigations in Congress because I don't care. I don't know about all the little petty things that don't affect me or my family. What I do know is criminals run our government. There's 6 foreign banks. They're shutting our liberties down, and they're funding Al-Qaeda and using them to attack Western interests as a pretext to take our liberties away in the name of stopping them. And it's an outrageous criminal plan, and it's totally naked now, and one group knows about it now. Not lionizing, not sanctifying them. The military, though. It's just a fact. The military, even at the lowest levels, is trained to know who these groups are, to know what flags are, to know what uniforms are. They all know it's Al-Qaeda. And the globalists screwed up, because just because the American people don't know which end is up on average and love death panels and think 2 + 2 = whatever Obama says and are into all the hype and watch all the money. The military and the brass, right down to the enlisted people, now know. So I don't know what you're going to do to fix that, because when you shoot stuff down with the Stinger missiles and you blow up a nuclear power plant or whatever you're planning, or whatever you have your Al-Qaeda people do, or whatever you blame on them to try to grandstand and take freedom, it's not going to happen in a vacuum, okay? And I just want to get that message across to you one more time. You could set me up, kill me, set up and kill other people. Message already got sent. I already blew the horn up on the castle wall. I already lit the signal fires on the mountaintops. I lit a signal fire. Other people lit signal fires. The message was already sent. Horn already got blew. Alarm already got pulled. And I can see the chain reaction. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's going to spread like a good virus through your infected body, and it's going to bring you down. World War III won't save you. Nothing will put your system back together again. I suggest you surrender now. And hey, we'll give you abstention. We'll send you to Alba like Napoleon. You can even have part of your money. Stop it. We realize you're dangerous when cornered. So are we. You could have had the whole world, New World Order, but you wanted our souls. You wanted to run individuals' lives. You wanted to attack freedom. You wanted to degrade justice. Because it threatened you. You didn't like it. Like a cockroach doesn't like a spotlight. So you wouldn't give us quarter. And now everyone in the system realizes there's no prosperity at the end of where you're taking us. And the whole system now is turning against Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, the New World Order. The Dutch royalty, the Transylvanian royalty, the German royalty, the Rothschild power axis, the Rockefeller crime syndicate. All of it is an abomination sold out to evil, using evil techniques to take control. And once you use evil for power, you can't stop using the ring of Mordor. It will consume you, and you are creatures of your Father, creatures of your God. So we have that little tidbit going on, and then we have the disgusting continual saga, the most perfect, beautiful example of the disgustingness of royalty, the disgustingness of state-run, hegemonic, genetic, paternal lines, or maternal, with that Queen of England over there. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un misses shrine visit. Oh, a shrine to that pile of stinking skulls and dehumanization, and those zombies with their souls sucked out, those poor North Koreans. I mean, my God, if we need any reason to oppose the giant state and the collectivists, North Korea is writ on the wall in fiery, flaming letters. It screams out like another fire on the hill, the watchtower ablaze, that this is not where we want to go. He's been gone for over a month, hasn't been seen since September 3rd, with parasites on their own people in just a sycophantic narcissist system. That's Hollywood everything. It's like wanting to hang out with Hollywood stars, I now realize. I was never really into it, but no one would, I guess, know this unless they'd been around it. And that's the whole illusion for people. It's like the Matrix would be like This total narcissist, so disconnected, he thought Dennis Rodman was cool. And then they would sit around with top leaders as he smoked cigarettes, watching basketball games. I mean, bizarro, Twilight Zone on PCP. This is hell. With tens of millions of people starving, millions starving a year, Vanity Fair doing a report there admitting the only meat sold on city streets was little baby parts. And that's all the wealthy can hardly get is long ham, sweet pork, human meat, as it's known by Kipling. Rutger, I guess he popularized that term. That's what was used by some of the islanders. And then the ultra-rich, the ultra-commie elite, they have the finest steaks, MRIs, everything for themselves in tiny little command bases. And he has a 7-story pleasure palace where they kidnap Japanese and South Korean film stars and then ship them in by private jet so they can come in and imagine Kim Jong-un coming in or his dad, Kim Jong-il, coming in like Baron Harkonnen to pull your heart plug. I mean, just total weakness, piled on filth, piled on failure, just like a vampire with its hunchback leering. I mean, this is the spirit of the enemy. No manliness, no honor, no strength. I mean, a real red-blooded man. I don't care what color you were. Can you imagine giving 100 Kim Jong-ils a club and getting in a warehouse locked up with them? And you had a club, what you could do to 100 Kim Jong-uns? I mean, just the fact that it's just screaming failure, screaming weakness. And then we look at our enemies, MSNBC, Obama, the globalist, all these UN people. They're all the same. They're Kim Jong-un wannabes. They're nobodies. No one wants them. No one loves them. They have no power. They have no energy. They have no soul. They have no renaissance. They have no lightning. They are complete, pathetic maggots. Absolutely trying to strangle human beauty, strangle human competition, strangle our mission to colonize space, strangle our mission to ascend into what God has planned for us. These people cannot rule over us, cannot control us, and should not exist. They are disease. I can't even look at Kim Jong-un. It can be like midnight. I'm going on coast to coast AM, and I'm totally exhausted. I'll let you have a trade secret. The old days, I'd drink a few beers because they have a stimulant effect on me. I don't do that anymore. Now, I pull up Hollywood people or Kim Jong-un or Obama or Hillary, and I instantly get energy just looking at these demons, looking at the scum that rules over us through fraud and deception. That's why they poison our water and dumb us down, because any straight-backed, head-screwed-on, even half-decent person would never live under such trash. Let's go to a clip of CNN that I'm analyzing today here, talking about another tyrannical regime when they're trying to build one like that here, again, saying our kids don't basically belong to us and men are inherently bad and the state is God, and questioning the dear leader Obama is racist. They would love to live in a place like this. They hate your success. They hate your strength. They hate your passion. They hate the fact you love God. They hate the fact that they don't have a monopoly of weapons so they can have their way with us, like Kim Jong-un and the demonic coteries of little demons that encircle him. So, of course, he's been swallowed up or dead or committed suicide or been murdered in some internal coup in that hellish pit that is a prison for all these demons. They're building their own destruction, their own mass guillotine. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. What you're seeing here is the human spirit refusing to submit. I am crazed and raged against them. I am sending out the call as a siren to warn people that their humanity and their free will is under attack. And by the most pathetic scum that you'd ever just see them for one moment and ever just realize what they are for one moment. They could be swept aside and a true renaissance could begin that is unbelievably incredible. Made of our dreams, made of your passion. That's what I want you to have, is control of your own destiny. That's all I want, and I want to be able to have control of my own passion and to be what I really am. You want to live under total government like this? You want to live under freedom? Because America and the whole West is going the way of Kim Jong-un's toilet. More than 100 years ago, top industrial scientists, mathematicians, statisticians are on record. There have been literally Thousands of books probably written. I'm aware of scores in the last 100 years documenting that with the industrialization and development of sciences, people should work 2 or 3 days a week, be able to focus on language, arts, raising humanity's development. So high taxes and regulations are brought in to do what the Federal Reserve calls stopping overheating. And that's to stop areas of the economy they don't fully control, local sectors, and one crop local economies and other things, to be shut down, basically, or milked. Because it's not enough to have all the fiat money at the Federal Reserve or the IMF or World Bank. You've got to be able to control your competition. That's the real power. So they create artificial scarcity. And that's what Agenda 21 and Cloward and Piven and all of it's about, is keeping the people under control, under resources. That's how you control slaves or sharecroppers. Everything I'm saying here is just common sense. And it's been done in history over and over again. But now it's going to end up causing world war if it continues. And so that's the real crime of these people, is they're trying to shut down society and civilization while blocking clean technologies, while running boondoggles for fake new clean technologies to just consolidate power, to create neo-feudal serfdom in the UN's own words. That's the model they want in the UN Biological Diversity Assessment, 1996. I cover it in my film, Road to Tyranny. Show the documents. Interview top professors like Kaufman, that's been to the UN meetings, Lord Monckton. So this is their plan, is to bankrupt you, is to dumb you down, is to poison you. Like you're a roach they're spraying with poison. They, on their power trip, they've decided we're just going to roll over and die. How about if we don't go along with that? How about if we identify them and their program instead of Hollywood stars and who's pregnant this week? See, the minute you start focusing on what's important and not on what they tells you important is game over. I'm not going to eat what Michelle Obama says. I'm not going to buy the clothes she points and tells me to get. See, you're like, well, of course you're not. Well, that's because you're not under their control. Most people are, folks. What a joke. What a joke. I got a lot of stock market news. Biggest plunge of the year yesterday. It's basically flat today. Got a lot of other interesting news on Ebola. A lot of interesting news on St. Louis. We're going to be covering it all. Briefly, it's that time of day, about to go to noon Central. Shows were aired in time zones all over the country, but we're here live 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm going to take my second dose of the day of DNA Force. There's nothing else like it. On record, you can read the patented studies at InfoWarsLife.com on the bio-PQQ and all the other substances that are in it that are known to promote mitochondrial detoxification, growth, telomeres, immune system, you name it. This is what I'm doing for myself and my family, and it's had an amazing effect on my energy, my stamina, just my clarity. Personally, it's been a life game changer. And of course, I've got a couple drops of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com in this water. And I forgot to add my Fluoride Shield, which blocks the fluoride and a bunch of other heavy metals and things, really a chelator. And then a squirt, maybe 2 squirts. It is the weekend coming up of Super Male Vitality. Feel like I'm 18, ladies and gentlemen, and I like it, love it. I got a old man's heart. I got a baby's brain and old man's heart. I think Alice Cooper's right. InfoWarsLife.com. And here's the liberty and down with the tyrants. And I hope Kim Jong-un is being eaten by maggots right now, and his soul is burning in hell. Second hour coming up. InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's colloidal silver or X2, we got it.
Introducing the first proprietary oxygen-based intestinal cleanser, OxyPowder. Backed by real FDA-approved phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials. People are suffering from all kinds of digestive issues these days. All the toxins from the air, the food, the water, ultimately ends up in the gut or affects the gut. My main focus was to come up with a remedy for this, something that's safe and effective, that anyone can take on a regular basis to keep their intestinal lining clean. My recommendation is to clean your intestines at least 2 to 3 times a week to prevent the toxic buildup from going into your bloodstream. Take your health into your own hands and start cleansing your body today with Oxy Powder. Secure your Oxy Powder today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.